began his law enforcement career in 1967 with the New Orleans Police Department, rising to the rank of sergeant and working in many divisions throughout the department, retiring as administrative assistant to the Chief of Police in the New Orleans Police Department in 1988. He became Chief of Police in Athol, Massachusetts, a position he held for 3 years. In 1991, he became Chief of Police in Rock Island, Illinois, serving for 10 years. While in Rock Island, Chief Scott was instrumental in implementing many innovative programs in the department. Chief Scott has received many awards throughout his 43 years in law enforcement. He's been Chief of Police in Holyoke since May of 2001, was elected National Vice President of NOBLE, the National Organization of Black Law Enforcement Executives, in July of 2003, became President in 2004, and ended his term on the board as immediate class President in 2005. Chief Scott's been named Who's Who in Law Enforcement and Outstanding Law Enforcement Professional in America. The Chief has also received the State of Illinois Bar Association's Law Enforcement Award, the Martin Luther King Jr. Community Reclamation Award, Outstanding Career Civil Service Employee Award, the Rotary Club's Paul Harris Fellow Award, along with other awards and certificates. Chief Scott holds a Bachelor's in Business Administration from Loyola University, is a graduate of the FBI National Academy and the FBI's Law Enforcement Executive Development School. Chief Scott holds membership in the International Association of Chiefs of Police, NOBLE, Massachusetts Chiefs of Police, Western Massachusetts Police, Massachusetts Major Cities Chiefs, and FBI National Academy Associates. He has spent 43 of his 60-plus years in law enforcement. Please welcome Chief Scott.
Thank you very much. I'm honored to be here this evening. I've come to speak with you about my 7-year battle with the judiciary. Let me start off by saying I have no great love lost for the judiciary in Massachusetts. I do not think that they should be appointed for life. And for the past 7 years, I've been trying to take that lifetime appointment away from them. This year, I believe that the lifetime appointment that the judiciary holds is against Article 5 of the Massachusetts Constitution. Article 5 clearly states that all officials, whether it's legislative or judicial, are accountable to the people at all times. The judiciary is not. The governor, Secretary of State, has to be elected every 4 years. They have to face we the people every 4 years. Senators and representatives have to face us every 2 years. Members of the judiciary do not have to face us. They are accountable to a group of appointed individuals who are not elected by us. So that's why I have, and also they're very, very slick. Okay? There's a provision in the Constitution that makes members of the judiciary immune to initiative petitions. So you cannot get an initiative petition going to affect the judiciary. It has to be filed by a member of the legislature. So every year I get Senator Knappett to file a piece of legislation to take away their lifetime appointment and to make them accountable to us every 6 years. The clerk's office continually wants to label this bill the election of judges, but it's not. An election connotes that you have to go out and raise money and campaign all over the Commonwealth in order to get elected to an office. This is not. At the end, after they're appointed by the same way they're appointed now, 6 years later, the name automatically goes on the ballot. And the electorate in that county goes into the booth and decides whether they want them to continue to be employed as a judge or not. And if they want to see the opponent, all they have to do is look in the mirror, because it is them. I have filed another piece of legislation, which is Senate Bill 1726. 1726 is increasing the penalty for failure to appear. Right now, an individual fails to appear, and most of the time a judge will release them on their personal recognizance. And then they don't show up, and then they issue a default warrant, and then we pick them up, and then they go before the judge, and they're released on their personal recognizance, and then we have to pick them up again. So I asked that that bill be introduced to make the fine more stiffer, with some weight in it, to prevent these individuals from failing to appear. Another bill that I had filed was 1727, and 1727 takes away the right, the presumption that you should get released on your personal recognizance. It takes away that right and puts some teeth into the law so that you will have to put up some money out of your pocket to ensure that you're going to come to court. The system now does not work. At the present time, the city of Holyoke has about 9,000 warrants in the system. 6 of those 9,000 are for failure to appeal, default warrants. And judges are continually releasing these individuals on their personal recognizance, and they don't show back up in court. And then we have to look for them, arrest them, and start the procedure all over again. It's wrong. Somebody should be looking over those judges' shoulders to ensure that they make fair and decent decisions. Case in point, a decision that was reached by the Supreme Judicial Court on April the 2nd. I don't know if you heard of this decision. This decision now requires that police officers cannot frisk a drug suspect unless they are absolutely sure that they have information that they're on. Supreme Judicial Court issued this opinion. They had one dissenting vote, and that was Judge Collins. And I want to quote what Judge Collins said. The court's conclusion ignores reality. Now, let me tell you what happened in that case, and you're going to see why I want judges accountable to we the people. 3 Boston officers spot an individual who is known to them as a drug dealer because he had been convicted several times. They see him at 2 a.m. in the morning standing in a doorway talking to another gentleman with his hand out, as if to show this other individual something in his hand. In that same area, the Boston police have been involved in at least 4 gunfights with drug dealers. The area is known for drug violence. When the officers approach in uniform, the individual goes to his mouth and swallows something. The officers pat him down for their safety to ensure that he did not have a weapon. And lo and behold, out of his pants leg falls cocaine. They arrested him. He was convicted. His attorney appealed. The appeal was upheld. His conviction was then brought to the Supreme Judicial Court, which said the officers had no right